Hello students, today we are going to start chapter 5, Major Domains of the Earth. Major Domains of the Earth. The solid sphere of rocks and soil is called lithosphere. Litho means rock. Okay, in Greek word lithos means rock, so it is a solid sphere of rocks and solid. The sphere of water covering a very large proportion of Earth's surface is called hydrosphere. Okay, hydro means water. So the sphere of water covering a very large proportion of Earth's surface is called hydrosphere because in the Greek hydro means water. The gaseous envelope of air surrounding us is called the atmosphere. The gas envelope of air surrounding us, that is our atmosphere. All the three components of the environment, they merge, they interact with each other on the surface earth. Because solids means rocks and soil is there on the earth, water is also there on the earth, and atmosphere, the envelope of air surrounding us, that is atmosphere. All three are interacting with each other, merging with each other on earth. If one of them is excluded from the composition of our environment, if we exclude one of them, okay, so life will not exist. If one of them disappears, then it is very difficult for life to be existed. The narrow zone, which is embracing portion of, embracing means where all the three layers are meeting each other, that is known as biosphere. A narrow zone is there where your lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere, they embrace. Embrace means they are connecting with each other, they are joining each other, that is biosphere. It is most important domain where life exists. In biosphere, it is the most important domain where life exists. So we have talked about lithosphere, rocks and solid, hydrosphere, sphere of water covering portion on the earth's surface, atmosphere, the envelope of air surrounding us, and biosphere, where your lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere are joining at a place. That is biosphere. Now, we are going to talk about lithosphere. The solid outer layer of the earth is called your lithosphere. In your lithosphere, your rocks and minerals come of the crust. Crust means the upper part of the earth where your rocks and minerals are there. The thin layer of soil over it. When the rocks or minerals are extracted, a very thin layer of soil is on the minerals and the rocks. About 29% of the Earth's surface is covered with land masses termed as continents. 29% of Earth's surface is covered with continents, the land masses which we call continents. The rest 71% is covered with water. The huge water bodies surrounding the land masses are ocean. One is continent, the land masses, and the oceans which are surrounding the land masses. The earth's outer shell means the crust. Means this is earth. Outer shell means outer shell of the earth is called crust. The crust is thickest under the continent. It is the thickest under the continent, and thickness of the crust is about 30 to 40 kilometer. But it extends as far as 70 kilometer beneath the highest mountain ranges. If I talk about crust, means the upper layer of the earth, so that is your crust. It is thickest when continents is there, but its thickness is about 30 to 40 kilometer, but 70 meter beneath the highest mountain ranges. Under the ocean, the crust is thinnest, means it is very thin. It is about 6 to 11 kilometers under the ocean. Okay, when we go under the ocean, the crust is just 6 to 11 kilometers. And if I talk about continent, it is 30 to 40 kilometer. But if I go to the mountain, then the crust is about 70 kilometer. So this is, they are talking about the crust. You can see the earth's crust, that is lithosphere. You can see this is the earth crust they are talking about, 30 to 40 kilometer, okay, on the surface. Then if I go to the highest mountain, 70 kilometer. If I go to the oceans, it is 6 to 11 kilometer. This is the outer layer, atmosphere. This is your crust, the brown part. As you can see, this is your mountain range, which is about 70 kilometer. This is about 30 to 40 kilometer, and here when I'm going beneath, it is about 6 to 11 kilometer. Okay, they are talking about the crust of the earth. The lithosphere is not uniform in shape, means it is not fixed in a shape. It may change from high mountain to deep ocean trenches. See, it is changing only na, from high mountain to deepest ocean trenches. The highest point on Earth's surface is Mount Everest, you know. It is about 8,848 meter above the sea level. The Mount Everest height is about 8,848 meter above the sea level. And the deepest part of the earth is the Mariana Trench. You know, the deepest point on the earth is your Mariana Trench. That is about 11,033 meter below the sea level. In the Pacific Ocean, we found Mariana Trench, which is the deepest point on the earth, and it is about 11,033 meter, which is below the Pacific Ocean, the sea floor. You will see there are 7 major continents and 4 major oceans. Now observe carefully, you will see that all the oceans are interconnected. The level of water thus remains the same everywhere. This is termed as sea level. I'll show you an image where you will see this, all the oceans and the continents, and this is termed as sea level, and it is taken as 0 because sea level remains the same, so it's taken as 0. The elevation of land, the height of the land, and the depth of the water are measured from this only, from the sea level only. See, this is the highest point, Mount Everest, 8,848. If I go to the deepest point, that is Mariana Trench, that is about 11,033 meter, highest and lowest point on earth. See, this is your Tropic of Cancer passing through India also, Africa also, North America also, south part of North America. Then equator from your Africa, okay, and your South America. Then Tropic of Capricorn, South America, Africa, and Australia. So continents, we were going to talk about continents only. The large landmass are called continents. So what are continents? The large landmass are called continents. There are 7 major continents. In order of size, if I talk about, there are Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe, and Australia. These are the 7 major continents. These continents are separated from each other by a large water body. So these continents are not evenly distributed over Earth's surface, but 3 of them, Asia, Europe, and North America, are completely in the northern hemisphere, are completely in the northern part. Thus, we can say the greater part of the land mass lies in the northern hemisphere. You can see North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, and Antarctica. So they are saying your North America, Europe, and Asia, they are in the northern hemisphere. This is your northern hemisphere. So most of the part of the Earth's surface is in the northern hemisphere. As most of the landmass are connected in the northern hemisphere, it is termed as land hemisphere because land is there in the northern part more. So it is known as land hemisphere also. A brief description we will study about now the continents. See the ocean also. Here is your Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Arctic, Southern Ocean. Okay. Pacific, Atlantic, Arctic, Indian, and your Southern Ocean. Here is also your Pacific Ocean. Asia. Now we are going to talk about the continent Asia. Asia is the largest continent on the earth. Which is the largest continent? Asia. Both in terms of area and population, area is number 1. It covers 1/3 of the total land of the earth. 1/3 of the total land of the earth is covered by Asia only. It extends from 80 degree north to 10 degree south latitude. The latitude they are telling about Asia, it's 80 degree north and 10 degree south. From 26 degree east and 70 degree west longitude. So they are telling about Asia's latitude and longitude. 80 degree north, 10 degree south, latitude and 26 degree east to 70 degree west longitude. We have studied the previous chapter. I have told you how to locate the places according to the latitude and longitude. The Tropic of Cancer passes through the continent. Okay, I told you the Tropic of Cancer passes through Asia. Through this subcontinent, Asia is separated from Europe by Ural Mountains. Asia is separated from Europe through Ural Mountains, which is on the west side. So when Asia is separated from the Europe, okay, by the Ural Mountains, a place is there where the Asia and Europe are combined, a landmass where they are combined, that is known as Eurasia. Where your Europe and Asia are combined, that is known as your Eurasia. You know, Asia is a land of high mountains, where your high mountains are there, plain area is there, fertile river valleys are there. Means Asia is a continent where you find high mountains also, plains also, fertile area also, and many rivers also, because the place which is nearby the river, that is fertile only. World's highest mountain range, the Himalayas, you know na, highest mountain range, Himalayas. World's highest plateau, Tibet, and world's lowest part, Dead Sea, are found in Asia only. Asia is known as the continent of extremes because here you find the world's highest mountain range, Himalayas, highest plateau, Tibet, and lowest part, that is your Dead Sea. Now Africa, it is the second largest continent after Asia, that is your Africa, and it lies between 37 degree north to 35 degree south latitude and from 51 degree east to 18 degree west longitude. So its latitude are 37 degree north to 35 degree south, okay, latitudes, and longitude is 51 degree east to 18 degree west. You know the Mediterranean Sea in the north, a Mediterranean Sea is there in the north side, it separates it from Europe. See, here is your Mediterranean Sea, so it separates Africa from Europe. The continent is connected to Asia by a narrow strip of land called the Isthmus of Suez. Now you can take out your pencils and you can write what is the meaning of isthmus. Actually, isthmus is a narrow strip of land connecting two land masses. Isthmus, it is a narrow strip, a very narrow strip of land which is connecting two land masses, that is known as isthmus. A narrow strip of land which is connecting the two land masses, that is Isthmus of Suez. So it is connecting the Africa and Europe. The equator or 0 degree latitude passes through middle of Africa. It is only continent through which Tropic of Cancer, Equator, and Tropic of Capricorn pass. So it is the only continent where all the three are passing: Tropic of Cancer, Equator, and Tropic of Capricorn. I have shown you the figure in this video only. This continent has huge plateau surface. Plateaus are there in Africa. Plateaus. Special feature of this continent, desert area is there and Great Rift Valley. Desert area is there and a Great Rift Valley is also there. The peak of volcanic Kilimanjaro, Nile, which is the longest river of the world, it is most important for this continent. Africa was unknown to the rest of the world until the middle of the 19th century because inland penetration. What is the meaning of the word inland penetration? Means when the interior part of earth, it was very difficult to reach. Penetration means to reach, inland means interior part of the continent. So it was very difficult earlier times to reach the interior part of the continent Africa, and it was very dangerous also. So Europeans, they used to call Africa, it is the dark continent. Means the Europeans, they used to call Africa, it is a dark continent. North America, you know, it is the third largest continent of the world, North America. It is connected through South America by a narrow strip of land, that is Isthmus of Panama. It is name. Okay, we have learned Isthmus of Suez. Isthmus means a strip which is connecting the two land masses. So here also the two land masses are connected by Isthmus of Panama. It is the name by which the two means land masses are connected. And it is separated from Asia by Bering Strait. So what is the difference between isthmus and a strait? Isthmus is a narrow strip of land which is connecting two land masses. And what is a strait? A strait is a narrow channel of water connecting two oceans or sea. Okay? Strait is a channel where two oceans or seas are connected. And isthmus where land masses are connected. So this is the name. Okay? Name of that place, Isthmus of Panama, which connects the two land masses, and Bering Strait, which separates it from Asia, which separates North America from Asia, that is your Bering Strait. It lies 8 degree north, 24 degree north, and latitudes from 90 degree west to 170 degree west longitudes. So this is latitude and longitude of North America. It has vast plateaus, mountain ranges, plain area, glacial lakes, means covered with glaciers. The lakes are covered with. The five Great Lakes are in Canada and USA. Five Great Lakes. And St. Lawrence River together form their greatest inland waterway in the world. So St. Lawrence River is there along with these five Great Lakes. They form the greatest inland waterway in the world. The highest point is in Mount McKinley and lowest point is the Death Valley. The highest point in North America is Mount McKinley and the lowest point is the Death Valley. See, Antarctica. They are showing the penguins in the Antarctica. This is the Himalayan, Sydney, Australia. They are showing the different images of the continent. This is Milford Sound is the best known for the many fords that are indented in the coast of the South Island in the New Zealand. This is Milford Sound. And here the elephants are grazing in Africa. Highest mountain, Kilimanjaro, which is below, means these are the equatorial plains which are below the mountain Kilimanjaro, and here the means elephants you can find here. So these are different pictures which are showing you different continents. South America is the fourth largest continent of the world. It extends from 12 degree north to 56 degrees south latitude. So what is the latitude? 12 degree north, 56 degree south, and longitude is 35 degree west to 81 degree west. So they are telling us this, that your South America is the fourth largest continent. It is the fourth largest continent. It is 12 degree north to 56 degree south and 35 degree west to 81 degree west longitude. You know, South America, the name is South America, so it lies in the southern hemisphere. The equator, it passes through your South America. Mount Aconcagua. The Mount Aconcagua is the highest peak in the Andes mountain. The lowland occupies about half of the South America. The lowland is there. Half of the South America is covered with the lowland. Amazon, you know na, the largest river of the world, is the most important river of this continent, South America, Amazon. Antarctica is the fifth largest continent of the world. It lies completely in the southern hemisphere. Antarctica, completely in the South Pole. It spreads around the South Pole. It is covered with thick ice. It is called the frozen continent, the ice continent, the white continent, because it is covered with ice only. The highest peak of this continent is in the Windsor Massif, which is permanently covered with huge ice sheets. So a peak is there in this continent name, which is in the Windsor Massif. It is a place which is permanently covered with the huge ice sheets. You know, Antarctica is surrounded by your Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, and Indian Ocean. It is surrounded by three oceans: Pacific, Atlantic, Indian. And continuous water body is the Southern Ocean, which you can see the Southern Ocean can be seen above Antarctica. It has couple of mountain ranges also, plateau area are also around the South Pole. Very few resources are not there, very few people live, no native people are living there. Many countries have their research stations in Antarctica. So India is also having a research station in Antarctica. They are named as Maitri and Dakshini Gangotri. So the research station which we are having in Antarctica name is Maitri and Dakshin Gangotri. As it has great scope for scientific study, we can study about weather, we can study about the continent of science. So it is also called the continent of science, where we can explore, where we can research. Europe. It is the sixth largest continent of the world. It extends latitude is 36 degree north to 75 degree north, and longitude is 10 degree west to 64 degree east longitude. It is completely in your temperate zone because water bodies are on the three sides. Europe is covered with the water body on its three sides. This Europe is having very high mountains, plain areas, active volcanoes also you can see in Europe. Mount Blanc is the highest peak in the Alp mountain. Mount Blanc is the highest means peak in the Alps, while Mount Elbrus, which is in the Caucasus mountain, is the highest peak in Europe. Caucasus mountain is having Mount Elbrus, which is the highest mountain peak in Europe, and Mount Blanc is the highest peak in the Alps. It is the smallest continent, that is Australia. The smallest continent is Australia. Sixth largest country in the world is Australia only. It lies entirely in the southern hemisphere. Totally it is in the southern hemisphere. It extends from latitude is 10 degrees south to 44 degrees south latitude. Longitude is 112 degree east to 154 degree east. So your Tropic of Capricorn passes through the middle of the Australia. Tropic of Capricorn passes through the middle of Australia. Australia is covered with plateau. Very few isolated mountain ranges are there. Okay. Great Barrier Reef is found here, which is making a coral deposit there. Coral, na? When the bones of the dead animals, they settle down in the water, then above that a reef is formed, that is Great Barrier Reef. It is a unique feature found along the northern east coast of Australia, which is built by the corals. I was telling you about corals only. Bones of dead animals which are settled down, and the substances, these are covered with the substances, and these are very colorful, different colors they are filled with. So, and it is natural, it occurs naturally only. So Great Barrier Reef is unique feature you can find in the northeastern coast of Australia, which is built by your corals. So again I will tell you what are the corals. Maybe you have seen the corals but you don't know what it is. When you have seen the corals are generally the substances, okay, which are deposited at the bottom of the sea from the bones of very small creatures, of very small animals which live under the water. So coral deposits are that. It is very colorful. It is different in colors. Mount Kosciuszko is the highest point of the continent. Mount Kosciuszko is the highest point of this continent, and it is surrounded by oceans on all sides, Australia. So it is an island continent also. It is the only continent which is island continent also, an island also. Hydrosphere, the domain of water. The earth is also termed as watery planet, the blue planet, because of its blue color. When you take the aerial photographs, means from the space, when you take the photographs from satellites, so the presence of water can be felt on the earth. So this is mainly in form of great water bodies that are called oceans and seas. The earth is therefore called the blue planet. The earth is what called? It's called blue planet. So as water bodies cover most of the southern hemisphere, your water bodies are covered with most of the southern hemisphere. So it is as water hemisphere also. So southern hemisphere is covered mostly with water. So it is known as water hemisphere also. 97.2% of earth water is in form of ocean and seas. 97.2% of water which is present in the earth, it is in seas or oceans. And that water is salty. You cannot drink it. You cannot purify that water. It is not suitable for drinking. Rest 2.77 is in form of glaciers or ice sheet, and only 0.03% exist fresh water, which we are using right now. So fresh water is running off. So that's why there is a need to save the water. So fresh water is running off. So in form of lakes and groundwater, rivers, we are having very less water with us. So there is a need to save water. So groundwater may appear on surface as well as springs. So groundwater you can see on the well and springs. This fresh water is being continuously renewed and recycled by the hydrological cycle or your water cycle. This is your hydrological cycle or the water cycle. Water vapors go from ocean to the clouds, okay, due to the evaporation from the ocean. Formation of water vapors, tiny droplets are there in the clouds. Due to the sun heats, the ocean water gets evaporated. And when the ocean water gets evaporated, the water vapor means the tiny droplets, they form the clouds. Okay? Understand it again. When the heat of the sun is going to the ocean, then the ocean water starts evaporating due to the heat of the sun. When the ocean water starts evaporating, very small, tiny droplets of water vapor, they form the clouds. Okay? They form the clouds. These clouds, they move with the moist air, and evaporation takes place from rivers, from lakes, from soil, from means different kinds of plants. So here what evaporation also takes place. Due to this evaporation, the clouds moves and it condenses. Due to the condensation, the rain occurs. Okay, due to the condensation, the rain comes up. So again, this is your water cycle, or I would call it hydrological cycle. What happens in your water cycle? The heat from the sun is coming to the ocean. When the heat of the sun is coming to the ocean, what is happening? The ocean water gets evaporated. When your ocean water gets evaporated, then it is forming clouds. Means the water vapors, the tiny droplets, they condense. Condense means the water which is collected as a droplets on any cold surface, which comes into contact of means air. When vapor or gas converts to a liquid, that is your condensation. Okay, when gas converts into liquid, that is your condensation. So what happened, the tiny droplets, they goes to the means sky, and they form the clouds there. From everything the evaporation takes place, from falling precipitation means from rainfall, also from lakes, tanks, from rivers, from soil, from transpiration and vegetation means different kinds of plants. So the clouds, they move in the moist air. Moist air means which is filled, which is wet. A wet air is there, moist air, and the clouds are moving in that air. And condensation is there. Condensation means gas is there that is converted into a liquid. Condensation means when gas or water vapor converted into a liquid form, then your rain occurs. Then rain water goes to the ocean only, and the same process starts again. That is your hydrological cycle. That is water cycle. This water cycle is very important. The water get evaporated, it forms clouds, and the clouds means because of the clouds, the moisture is also there in the atmosphere. The rain happens. When the rain happens, the same water going to ocean, and this process is being followed again and again, repeated again and again. That is your hydrological cycle. Thank you and have a very nice day.